this thing on? Hello? Anybody hear me? Okay. We're just gonna go. Alrighty. Hello. Hello. Okay. Turn this on. Yeah, baby. Uh-oh. May disturb some players. Okay. Everybody hear me okay? We good? Okay, cool. Let's start this. Oh, snap. Investigations. The judge. Victims have all something in common and the motive seemed clear, but which suspect could have done it? Perfect for a first run. Unknown motive, weird case, slightly more difficult than the others. Victims may feel random at first, but there's a connection. If the motives might be hard to find, dark and twisted case. Ooh. Surprise. Oh, that's it. Randomly pick an unsolved investigation, and that's a random investigation. So what should I do? The judge, the angel of death, or the Sandman? This is our first run through, so I would say be gentle, but you may choose. Vote now. Yes, you still have a sword. Be careful how you swing that sword. It's dangerous. Reduce myself just a little bit there. Looks like I was peeking. A little bit more. There we go. All right. Soul power activate. Yes. Don't get distracted by the shiny sword. We still have an investigation to pick. What are we doing here? Huh? Angel of Dead. Angel of Dead? Okay. Angel of Dead. Choose difficulty mode. Oh my goodness. Story. Money will be easy to get by. The investigation will be easier. Every action will take less time for a chiller experience. Balanced. The way Night Call was designed. Let's do balanced. I love that name, Black Muffin Studio. There was a gun, I'm telling you, Stormy. There was a gun in that free bundle. It's like a red MP5. Looked really cool. I want to use it. Here? Sir? Can you hear me? Do I need to speak up? Is this okay with you? Is my voice loud enough? Yeah, it's fine. Sir, you just spent 2 weeks in a coma. A word bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning. Coma? The word scratches along your throat. Yes, you were the victim of an assault. The word resonates in your head. Victim. You are aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris. You feel the contents of your stomach crawling up your throat. The killer the media are calling the Angel of Death stuck a knife in your right side. It hit several organs. To be frank, you were in a terrible state when they brought you in, and we were obliged to put you in an induced. Her voice becomes more distant, fades. You taste bile at the back of your mouth. Your head is burning. You hear a whistle in one ear. Your fingers move to your wound. Underneath the bandages, you can feel hard skin. It is incredibly painful. Did they? I'm sorry? Did they catch the angel? No. What about the cops? Doctor is silent for a second. Very awkward second. Since crawling in my skin, these words they do not heal. She hesitates. The police would like to see you as soon as possible to ask you some questions. Technically, you're the only person to have survived the Angel of Death. Noise in the hallway attracts your attention. You try to turn your head to no avail. You need to rest. She leaves the room. Her voice resonates in the hallway. I don't care. He's the only witness. Another female's voice joins in, strong, authoritarian. You can't clearly make up what she's saying. Strange feeling washes over you. Maybe that bundle is delayed, Stormy. I don't know. It's not pain, not fatigue, some odd combination of the two. Before being in this hospital room, you'd never realized that anger was made up of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger. A feeling you know all too well. Days go by, and a month later. Well, look, I've got a bit of a problem. Real problem, that is. You have a pounding headache. It's your first night behind the wheel since the attack. Are you listening to me? You catch your boss's eye in the rearview mirror. Sorry. I just want things to get back to normal. Clear my head, stop thinking about it all. He's watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head. You know I'm worried about you, don't you? I know. You're like a son to me, you know. I know. And you know he's about to tell you the story of his taxi fleet. Again. When my father died and left me the store, I could have sold it, could have retired, gone back to the old country. decided to start a cab fleet with the money he left me to hire the guys from the neighborhood. And that's why I've got 45 guys like you working for me. His hands flutter in the air, though none of them are any match for you. He smiles. His voice suddenly takes on a serious note. Do you want me to go over everything again? He points to the equipment on the dashboard, the meter, the GPS. You haven't been in a taxi for weeks. Maybe you do need a little refresher. Yo, this soundtrack is dope. This music is dope. I would listen to this all day. Yeah, good idea. Right then. Well, first the map. You spot potential customers and try to guess where they'll be going. Then you decide. When a customer orders a taxi, if there's no one else around, you have to go pick them up. He shrugs. That's the way it goes. It's business. No problem. The other fares, you look at the map and decide whether or not you want to take them on. And then you drive. He flashes a quick mechanical smile. You know it well. When he talks about work, That's all. When your shift is over, we do the numbers and his voice trails off as if searching for the right words. And that's all. It's pretty simple. There's no reason why you can't do it. Oh, right. No overtime. We're in France here, and there are rules and regulations. You might not see it that way, but no one likes having a driver who hasn't slept for 24 hours. Looks away. Something's been bothering him since he got into the cab. Yeah, this is all lo-fi, homie. This is slick. Anyhow, you know the ropes. You get it. I know you're going to do a good job. What's the matter? Your boss keeps quiet for a while, as if he's hesitant to speak, and then... I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving. The murderer is still out there, and we think he's going to come back. Who are you? Maybe. Your boss pulls himself up a little straighter. You can sense he's trying to control himself, trying not to get upset. Maybe he'd been told to go easy on you. He holds your gaze, then turns away. You know, I can put you on the day shift, or send you out to the suburbs, away from it all. No. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work. Every minute spent in your taxi is a minute lost. Gives you a smile, half ironic, half serious. You can count on me. He scratches at an invisible stain on the armrest. Yeah, I know. That's the problem. He smiles. Your boss opens the door and exits the cab. You watch him cross the street and enter the fleet garage. A group of colleagues are milling about. Taxis are coming and going. They all ignore you, consciously or unconsciously. You are branded. You sit there for a moment, then turn the key in the ignition. The hum of the engine sends a tingle down your spine. It's impossible to describe how you miss that feeling. It's back to the night shift. Back to life. Despite the attack. Despite it all. Oh. Well, there's a cat. Little Neko. There's also this dude. She seems pretty distraught. Old lady. Young lady. wasn't supposed to be scary. That would make a great lo-fi studying loop on YouTube. Yeah, pretty sure you can butt the OST too. Yeah, you can butt it. All right, let's but you can butt it. Just butt it. Uh-oh. Stop. Butt it time. Okay, let's go pick this dude up. Holy crap. That's the Plain St. Denis, please. Distance 6.5 kilometers. His fare is $22. Alright, I'll take it. Passenger climbs into the cab and slams the door shut behind him. Good evening. Plain St. Denis, please. He stops short, visibly sizing you up. Do you know where it is? Yes. Avenue des Magasins. Oh gosh. Generach? So you know the street? I don't know if I said that right. We're gonna go with it. Yeah, sure. Looks at you intently. You know all the streets of Paris? This question drips with disbelief. You know his kind well, the sort who'd refer to you as the Arab, and not bat an eyelid. Yeah, I do, Monsieur. He seems hesitant. Well, then let's go. This guy's racist. He's the killer. Start the cab. Client stares out the window as if hypnotized. You watch him in the rearview mirror. His face is familiar to you. His accent too, though you'd never be able to place it. Typical of some rural region. Central France, perhaps? You take another look. That's it. Got it. He was a contestant on one of those reality shows where farmers meet women. You'd seen him on the show a few weeks before. You'd watched it from your hospital bed with a distracted eye. But something about it had bothered you. The show was a masquerade. Life in a country seen from a very Parisian and cynical perspective. Full of scorn and contempt. Okay then. You figured out who I am? His remark and his accent bring you back to the present. Sorry? You've recognized me, right? So you can make fun of me now? Make fun of you? He shrugs. Yeah, like all those other people do out there. On that their Tweety thing? Tweety? Takes you a second to realize he's talking about social media. I don't know what you mean by that. You mean you don't know who I am? You hesitate before answering. I don't watch TV. Let's do it. So you don't know who I am then? You bite the inside of your cheek. Your passenger gives you a sour smile. Yeah, well, go on, have a good laugh. It's free, right? Why shouldn't you? Have a good laugh at my expense. That's all I'm good for, right? His eye meets yours, his voice faltering. He sighs heavily and shakes his shoulders. He goes on staring at you for a while and then seems to calm down. Sorry. He shakes his head, obviously moved. His shell is starting to crack. This song is fantastic. I want this whole OST. This is pretty amazing. It's a living hell. Imagine what I'm going through. It's a nightmare. 3 months ago, I was a contestant on that stupid show, Field of Love. Basically, 6 farmers like me want to find a wife, get married. Well, I said yes because my wife's been dead for 25 years. been alone ever since. Just me and cows and udders. Stops and shrugs. The show was aired like a month ago. At first, things were fine. Friends called, we had a good laugh and all. And then I find out the internet is laughing at me too. There are those things. I can't remember what they're called. Moms, mams, mims, you know, those pictures that move all by themselves on the damn internet. You have no idea what he's talking about. Smile at him. So I made myself a Tweety account. Go and see what they're saying about me. Calling me a virgin and a Nazi, that I screw my cows too. Looks away, as if someone else had spoken the words. They practically die laughing. A farmer who doesn't want to finish the sentence. So yesterday I said I'd had it. Called my cousin to keep an eye on the farm and I left for Paris. I'm on my way to see those TV jokers right now. 6 months ago, they said if there was any problem whatsoever, they'd take care of it. Well, there is a problem. His anger has subsided somewhat. His face is returning to its normal color. What's your plan? Hell yes, I have a plan. I'm going to show up at their office and raise Cain until they listen to me. Really gonna do that? Yeah, that's the plan. He gives an energetic nod of the head. And believe me, they're gonna listen. I may just be a plain old farmer. Nobody's gonna disrespect me. He squares his shoulder as if to fend off the attacks. Forget it. His eyes have closed. He practically growls the words. There is a palpable air of sadness about him. At first, I told him I didn't want to be on their stupid old show. It wasn't for me. But they insisted. They showed me pictures of the women. He lowers his eyes. And then, well, I said yes. Should have never said yes. You pull up to the address he gave you. The studio gates are still closed. You park the cab and cut the engine. Is it closed? Yeah. It doesn't open until 6. You point to a sign posted near the gates. He sighs. But there'll be hardly anyone here before 9 or 10 o'clock. I don't care. I'll wait. He rummages through his pockets and pulls out a wallet. What are you going to ask them? I want them to apologize on TV during the show in front of everyone. To talk about all the things they changed, all the bits of sentences they cut up and put back together. He fixes his gaze on you, his eyes narrow. You know, I'm not racist. I knew it. I freaking knew it. I called it. Called it. His voice is low and raspy. Racist! Don't believe the show. I didn't mean what I said. I didn't really say that stuff either. What exactly did you say? He stops short. Nothing. He avoids your gaze, and all at once says, a lot of nonsense. He fixes his gaze on you, visibly moved. I'm not very good at this. He chokes up, gesturing with a hand as if to make it all disappear. When he starts up again, he's on the verge of tears. Anyhow, I'll just wait here until it opens. The passenger pays the fare and exits the cab. You watch him for a minute as he starts his vigil in front of the gates. You notice a newspaper on the back seat. Your passenger must have left it behind, or the one before. You grab it and put it away. Could come in handy. You start the cab. It's back to the grind. Oh, got a nice little tip there. Nice little tippy-doo. Oh. Wait, she's still here. Oh, she's like right there. Like, how did she get closer? Got the dude there. Still got the cat. Should I go pick up the cat? Is it actually a cat, though? Yeah. Croaky. The fair. It's okay. Pull up to the sidewalk and wait for your passenger. I can't believe this. Since it looks like it's a no-show, you get out of the cab after a minute, smoke a cigarette. There's not much going on in this small town in the suburbs. There are a few apartments that still have lights on. Sweet scent hangs in the air. Eventually, you stub out your cigarette and get back into the car. No! What the? The cat has managed to slip into the cab. What are you doing there? I see you. Sitting on the back seat, staring at you intently. You sit there for a moment, considering whether or not to shoo it away. But just as you are about to wave your hand, the cat shifts positions and a slip of paper falls from its collar. Check that paper out. Pick up the piece of paper and unfold it. Fragment of a map of Paris. The Saint Lazare train station. You turn your eyes slowly to the cat. He seems to be expecting an answer. Going somewhere? Cat. Wow. Oh my god, did that cat just shake its head? You want to go to Saint Lazare? Oh my god, stop it. Are you a dog? Cat slowly. Your hands clutch the wheel tightly. This is kind of weird. What do you want, cat? What the hell is going on? Turn around to face the cat. Alright, I'll take you. Okay, fine. Start talking to yourself in low tones as if to balance the conversation. What is that cat doing? Normal. This is perfectly normal. Start the cab, but cast a glance at the cat behind you. You're the one who ordered the cab? This cat. A few minutes go by. You try to break the ice. Simple questions are probably best. Everything okay? Either a yes or no. More of a plaintive meow. You running away from someone? Cat lets out a long, plaintive meow. No? Another cat. Your owner? A long, melancholic meow. Huh. You nod your head. What happened? Was it a man? No answer. A woman? Oh, was she mean to you? Aw. Cat seems to be uncertain. She had other cats? Cat gives you a look full of disbelief. Oops. No, that's not it, huh? You're independent. You like to be alone, right? Your owner isn't around for you? Cat doesn't seem to understand. Oh, I screwed that up. For instance, your owner is never home. You're bored, you want to spend more time playing? Cats could roll her eyes. He would have. Take it. Cat doesn't seem to feel like talking anymore. No, I screwed up. He turns his head away, looks at the street out the window. You're not far now. After the next light, you point to a light in the distance. The Saint Lazare will be there soon. A few yards later, stop at the drop-off area in front of the station. The first train doesn't leave for another hour. Where are you going? Cat stares at you without making a noise. Let me guess. Saint Lazare? If you were going to the suburbs of Paris, you wouldn't have needed to come into town. So somewhere in the northwest of France. Northwest of France. Normandy? Is it Normandy? I want to say it's Normandy. Okay, I'm gonna pick Normandy. I don't see any answers to the contrary. I don't know France, so. Alright, here we go. Somewhere by the sea, huh? Cat is looking at you and meows. Sharp sound, probably yes. A very hungry yes. I got it right! Haha! Ah. For the fish, I guess. You check the time on the dashboard. It's time to go to get a real customer. You try not to think too much about the situation you're in. And you hope that no one sees you talking to a cat. Go on. I'll just start saying the names of cities and you meow when I hit the right one. Start to list cities in Normandy. Cat doesn't move a muscle. Cherbourg? Cat looks up. So it's Cherbourg. Getting close? St. Malo? Still nothing. I've got it. Deauville. A meow of delight. You're smiling too. All of a sudden, you're exhausted. Okay, come on. Time to say goodbye. You get out of the cab and open the back door. A bill has appeared on the seat next to the cat. It is enough for the fare, and more. Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you? I want to ask you where it came from. You smile and lean over to pet the cat. It leaps out of the car and darts between your legs. You can just make out its shape, dashing up a flight of stairs, slipping between the bars of the gate. You get back in the car. You look at yourself in the rearview mirror. Your features are heavy with fatigue. Your right eyelid is twitching. As you start the car, you remember you are allergic to cats, but you haven't sneezed once. You pull out of the station. Made a little bit of... Oh gosh, that tip. The tip was bad. The door suddenly opens and a woman gets in the back. Having a good night? Hey, lady, don't be... Oh God. For a second you freeze. You recognize one of the cops working on the Angel of Death's case. Oh God. She grins at you. Her voice creaks. You remember seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her there. You know, it's actually pretty crazy. For weeks I've been saying to myself there's something off about you. Something not so nice. I dug around, mulled it over, bugged all my fellow cops about it because I was sure you lied to us. She has a cold sneer on her face. I'm going to be frank with you. She leans over to you. I don't see how you could be the Angel of Death. What the? I'm not! I got stabbed! Why would I be? All that staging just doesn't seem like your thing. Too meticulous for a taxi driver. She squints, like she's trying to make you out from far away. Like you'd have gone to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah, between us, it's a bit of a stretch. She stares at you. But not enough for a stretch for my chief to stop going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I'd think he had a crush on you. She smirks. No, I think he's more interested in your profile. In prison at 17. An icy chill fills your gut. And for murder, too. You open your mouth, but nothing comes out. Since you got out, you kept a low profile. But you're lying about your name and your address. Checked. It's normal. You'd say if they get word of your time served, no loan for your permit, no lease for your car, meaning no second chance at life. Her voice becomes softer, almost warm. I personally like guys who want a second chance. No, I like guys who fight for a second chance. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me. She leans forward, her shining, cat-like eyes narrowing. My chief wants to go to the prosecutor with a first and last name, with evidence. Actually knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So, I'll give you info, victims, suspects, medical reports, and photos that are a bit... She makes a gagging noise. You have to be discreet. Keep it between you and me. Interrogate. Ask questions. Dig around. I'm not a cop. She shrugs. Don't worry. You're already keener than half the squad. And don't forget, I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer wrapped up with a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman. You're just here to give me more information. She rummages around in her pockets for what seems like forever. Here, take my card. I'll call you in 3-4 days just to check in. We'll chat. And I'll let you know if I have any new info. She takes on a didactic, paternalistic tone, like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time. Don't get caught. Don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like, and I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution or the problem. She takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I'll go check in on you-know-who. Her smile is biting. No, I'm Batman. That reminds me. She know you've done time? You shake your head. She snickers. Oh, my little dirtbag. You cover your tracks well. Damn, this lady. What if I refuse? If you refuse, simple. I'll turn you in. She was referring to his girlfriend. Who you calling dirtbag? I know, right? I'll send your picture to all my friends in the media and every asshole in Paris. Your picture with your name on it, your real name. Anyone close to you will have their places searched. They'll be put under house arrest, spend nights in jail. You have any idea how tense things are with that fucker's trial underway? You sigh. You know just what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, your last names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually. Nothing like that son of a bitch. She smiles. Let me tell you, that face of yours and your handle, they'll welcome you with open arms. You have no right. I know we have no right. She takes on a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him to court, ruin his fucking life with a bang. I can't botch this case, you got me? And neither can you, right? Obviously. Well, great then. We see eye to eye. So, you can just say you're my informant, my CI. He ripped open your gut, you saw your own insides, you were in a coma. Yeah, you have plenty of reasons to want to get back at him. Yeah, I think you're actually going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumors, and you come up with a list of suspects. She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes. Oh, right, and don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me. You glare at her. Fucking bitch. Yeah, whatever. That makes you feel better. Kinda did. Little bit. She puts her hand up. You can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. I'm Batman. I'll make sure you get more intel tomorrow. I'll find a way. Until then. Not a word to anyone. Obviously, not a word. Door opens, squeaks, slams shut. Sit alone for a while, teeth clench, dry-eyed, ears buzzing. Shit. On the back seat, the cop left a pile of papers. Shit. Key in the ignition, motor running. Radio on, crackles. Turn it off, start driving. Talking to passengers might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You will find them at the back of your studio after your shift. 5 clues available in your room. My room. So have any of y'all heard of this game before? I got this off a Humble Bundle. I didn't even know about it. Take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. You throw the files Busset gave you. Or is it Busset? I'm calling her Busset. It might be Busset. Busset? Busset? That sounds better. Busset. You throw the files Busset gave you on the table. On the wall, you hung up the big corkboard where you used to pin up photos of your nephews. It is France. Yeah, I think it's Busset. They've been gone since you got out of. Your plan is simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each suspect, trying to understand their motives. Understand how he or she got into this situation. A bus goes by, making the walls shake. You glance at your bed and get to work. I'd never heard of it. Dude's face looks familiar to me. Oh, yeah. I don't know. It looked cool when I was going through, because you know how Humble Bundle does that thing where you now have to select your games. So I was going through and I saw it. I was like, that looks pretty cool. And then I read it and I was like, that sounds pretty cool. So let's that'd be pretty cool. Pretty fun game to play. Alright, look at the board. Let's go look at these pictures. Homeless man, unknown background, briefly worked for Charles Lourdain, victim 2 in the 90s. Got health issues after Richtelden health scandal. A couple of arrests for breaking and entering. Chef in La Pierre restaurant in Paris. In financial troubles, was an activist when she was younger. Part of the Moon Flesh cult. Okay. Gilda Berger. Set designer for the opera. Was hospitalized after her mother's death. Difficult relationship with her dad, also working at the opera. Catholic and a member of the Korean community in Paris. Brilliant programmer for several startups and companies. Wrote books about the simulation we're all living in. Destroyed evidence when the police started investigating. Blurry past, weird woman, probably a rich heir or something, was born in Guadalupe. Night owl. I think it's based off of, all these investigations are supposedly based off of true events. So some people were like, that's why it was, I guess they were like, some of this might be disturbing. I don't know. Did you say the burger? Yes. The burger. The burger. Going to investigate. Discovered. Oh shoot. Oh, these take away my time. Okay. Oh shit. Oh, and then the board. Okay, I'm getting it. Murders, rituals, her. So I gotta murders, rituals. Wouldn't that go under her? Part of a moon flesh cult, right? Allegedly robbed fishmonger. Suspected in many break-ins. Yep. Oh, fishmonger. So the murder weapon. It's a fillet moth. Break-in for scenes 1 and 3. I don't know if I'm doing this right. MO, slit throat, words written in blood, blood missing. Killer. Okay. What is... There's a new one? Kitchen window was left open by the victim. Oh, so they put that under here to connect to him. Feel free to jump in the front seat with me. Oh, I don't mind that. I don't consider it back seating. I consider it front seating. So, if you have some ideas or if some things strike out special to you, victim 2 opened door to the killer? Wait, if victim 2 opened door to the killer, wouldn't that mean that there was familiarity, at least? Victim 2 had garlic in her hand. Okay. Isn't she the... No, who is the cook? Yeah. You work in the chef. Not necessarily. Could be a salesman, delivery person, someone they thought they were expecting. That's true. Goofy though. Left spare key under the doormat. Oh, I should probably get some sleep. Uh-oh. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. I stayed up all night. Oh crap. Only gonna get like a little bit of sleep. You slowly open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. Which ones are victims and which are suspects? Oh, I didn't look at that because I realized how tired he was. Streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. You open one eye. I think they're all suspects. All the pictures are suspects. You stretch slowly. It's already nighttime out. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Okay. Oh man, this opened up, didn't it? But it's giving you victim clues. Yeah, they're connected to. So I believe that what's going on is the clues are connected to the. Oh crap! This is a lot. Where am I at? Over here. I could just pick her up. Or details rather. Yeah, they're just giving me details. And when you look at the thing, you look at their under parts descriptions. Like the first guy, it said that he knew victim 1. And so there's connections. But there's not enough details, I think. I'm gonna go pick this lady up. Patricia Hussein. Yeah. Beautiful woman climbs into your cab. There's something sensual and comforting about her. No, I just missed it, but don't worry, I'm taking a cab. Anyhow, just wanted you to know. For a minute, you think she's talking to herself, but she leans over and whispers her address to you. I think you really enjoyed it today. As you start the cab, you notice a hands-free headset practically hidden by her thick head of hair. I'll massage his feet tomorrow, and I'll let you do the rest. Small laugh escapes her. Or the other way around, sure. And, Cruz, it's normal to feel a little awkward at first, or uncomfortable. I mean, not knowing what to do. What in the world is that emote? What is that? But you'll see. A couple more days and you'll get the hang of it. Ah, I like that walrus. That walrus is nice. Anyhow, you should get to bed now. You need to keep up your strength. She stopped talking. Her phone call is over. She catches your eye in the rearview mirror and bursts out laughing. You look shocked. Not at all. Your passenger crosses her legs and gives you a playful pout. I don't believe you. You're letting your imagination run wild. What exactly were you imagining? That I'm on my way home from a threesome or something? There's a mischievous gleam in eye. Could be. She lowers her gaze and turns her head, serious all of a sudden. But I'm not. The truth isn't that rosy. Actually, I was at my son's house. I've been taking care of him since his accident. I'm a nurse. His accident? That's right. He was supposed to meet his father for a rugby match. He was in a hurry. He tried to pass a truck on the right as he was leaving the highway. The driver didn't see him. I don't know how he managed it, not to die on the spot. It's really tough. And all that just to see a rugby match. Her smile is playful, full of life. I mean, ever since he was little, I tried to get him interested in soccer. And see what happened? A smile of dry amusement flickers across your passenger's face. Anyway, he's been in a coma for weeks now. Grade 2. Not a total vegetable, but not all that hardy either. So I had them move him to his place. Cruz and I are taking care of him now. Cruz? His fiancée. Lovely girl. Your passenger puts her hand to her mouth to smother a giggle. Totally inhibited, but sweet, very religious. She prays in Spanish at his bedside every night. They've been going out for 2 years now, and I still don't think they've... Uh-oh. Well, you know. A brief silence. You find yourself trying to think of something to say. How long have you been a nurse? Frown creases your passenger's forehead. If that's a roundabout... Oh, God, no! If that's a roundabout way of asking how old I am, you lose! No! That's not what I meant! I didn't mean that! No! You start to apologize and realize she bursts out laughing again. Dang it. Cute when you blush. Yes! I did it! I celebrate my 20th anniversary at the hospital in August. I started a few months after Tituan was born. I was young and attractive back then. You still are. What about you? How long have you been driving a cab? Not the most fashionable job in the world, and worse, still it affects your better judgment. She burst into laughter. Anyhow, you're lucky you ran into me and not Cruz. She's so uptight, she wouldn't have known what to do with herself. I'm going to tell you something funny? Earlier tonight, when Cruz and I were washing Tituan, I will flirt with the passengers, all of the passengers. Not exactly a pleasure cruise. My son is well over 6 feet tall, and the cruise is a cross between a matchstick and a Q-tip. So I was managing as best I could, rolling him onto one side and then the other. She was trying to help, though the truth is, it's pretty hard for her to take. I mean, it's all new to her. Can't be that much fun. So she was muttering religious mumbo-jumbo to herself in Spanish, Dios mío, and whatnot. And just as I was rolling Tituan back onto his back, guess what? He got an enormous erection. Uh-oh. Boing, 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 boing. I'm gonna laugh. From once you start to laugh, your passenger joins in. The two of you enjoy a good long laugh. After a while, your passenger manages to catch your breath. A big old hard-on. Oh my goodness. How did Cruz react? First, she turned bright red, and then she pulled the sheet up over him as fast as she could. Your passenger makes a short pause to emphasize what's coming. But it looks even worse. Yeah, he got a freaking tent pole in his bed. Just like Casper the Ghost. Oh. Peals of warm laughter filled the air. For a moment, you're happy, as if a weight had been lifted. You pull up to the address she had given you. You stop the cab. She hands you the fare. Thanks for the conversation. The ride went by really fast. She reaches for the door, then stops. You can sense she's really on edge. It's good to be able to talk. It's pretty unusual in Paris to meet someone so warm. A slight nod, like a promise. You too. Good luck tonight. She shuts the door carefully and walks away. Your eye follows her as she climbs the steps to the door of her building. A moment later, she's gone. You feel something surfacing. Dark thoughts, pictures, memories. The bed sores she talked about. You notice a newspaper on the back seat. Your last passenger must have left it behind, or the one before. Grab it and put it away. Could come in handy. You turn the key in the ignition and drive away. What the heck, yo? What in the world? What is this? Oh, it's just to let me know that there's a person. What's this? You read the newspaper. Who's leaving paper? Yeah, I know, right? They just... You pull a newspaper out of your glove compartment and start leafing through it. Eventually, something grabs your eye. It's a rather positive critique of a bar called Solis. You make note of the information with interest. In your line of work, that kind of thing can always come in handy. Turn the page and stop. You've read about a third of the newspaper. Let's stop reading. Shut the paper. It'll end up in the trash tonight. If you remember, it's there. Otherwise, it will spend the rest of its days in your glove compartment. What? Oh, okay. We're starting the fair again. Okay. Oh, this is the lady. This is one of the suspects. Let's go pick her up. Uh-oh. Oh, crap. I need to get to Notre Dame. Yep, kill the burger. Do you guys remember the information about the burger? I don't know about the burger. Your next passenger slips into the cab and closes the door with incredible care. She's she's a part of the Korean community, and she's Catholic. I remember. Good evening, sir. She's one of the suspects, and her voice rings like a chime, high-pitched, discreet, ethereal. Notre Dame, Paris, please. As you pull away, you glance at the time. Not exactly time for a prayer. You drive in silence for a few minutes, glancing at your passenger. She seems so fragile. You can't imagine her in the act of... Oh my god, that Boris. My friend and I were wondering if you knew where the secret entrance to the catacombs is. Her question pulls you out of your thoughts. A secret entrance? Yeah, you know, the catacombs. There's the main entrance, and there are the hidden ones. They're not open to the public, of course, but that's what makes it fun. The way she said fun made her sound about 7 years old. We'd love to visit them on our own. You shake your head. Unfortunately, you've never heard a thing about a secret entrance. I don't know. Sorry. She seems disappointed. I thought a taxi driver would surely know Paris really well. Yes, but not the catacombs. You attempt to smile. She doesn't react. Uh-oh. You've never been? You shake your head again. It's so cool down there in the summer. I go often, through the main entrance. A break, and then... No. He doesn't know. I thought so too, but... Were you speaking to someone? Wait. I was talking to my friend. Huh? Your friend? Of course. Jesus. Oh my god. You take a second to digest the information. Jesus Christ? Sure. Who else? But you talk about him to everyone? Well, yeah, why shouldn't I? People don't think you're... She cuts you off and becomes defensive. Crazy? A liar? She shrugs her shoulders and her face remains expressionless. I don't care. Even if everyone else turns their back on me, I have Jesus. Even when I'm alone, I have Jesus. She glances outside. You keep as much of an eye on her as you can in the rearview mirror. I work at the Garnier Opera House. I'm far from the most eccentric one there. So Jesus and I are fine. People leave us alone. She lets her face relax, smiles. What about you? Anybody speak to you? I don't think so. I'm really lucky. I have Jesus Christ by my side. Does Jesus tell you to kill people? Oh my god. But what does he say to you? He's always by my side. She pauses as if realizing she hadn't been quite clear enough, not precise enough. Like she could tell you didn't get it. He talks to me about people we see. He tells me who is good and who is bad. Your blood curdles. He tells me who I should avoid and who I should talk to. What does he think of me? Of you? It's funny you should ask that. Her voice becomes softer. You can see Notre Dame. You're almost there. I'm sure I've already met you. Oh, Jesus. I don't know why, but you and I, us two, we've run into each other somewhere before. Haven't we? You shake your head, no. Do you ever go to the opera? No. Then maybe I've been in your taxi before. No. Strange. Her last word rings around the cab. It seems heavy and stifling. What? Why, yes, it's true. Jesus is right. We're here. You park. You feel sweat running down your back. She giggles. I hope to see you again in the city of God. She drops money onto the front seat, more than enough for her fare. You raise your head. The door slams. Your passenger is already outside. Call her. You lower your window. Miss! Her figure doesn't turn around as she keeps walking toward the cathedral. Miss? I'm gonna do it. Run after her! You take off your seatbelt, but when you go to get out, you're stopped by a stabbing pain. Your eyes blur. You can't see the dashboard controls anymore. Your scar is burning, itching. You breathe slowly. Breathe out for 7 seconds. In for 7 seconds. You repeat the cycle until you recover your sight. You repeat the cycle until your fingers stop shaking. You breathe. You glance outside. The young woman has vanished. You turn the key in the ignition. You slowly recuperate from the last ride, from the last passenger. That woman was a total nut job, no doubt about it. You drive away from Notre Dame. Y'all, I am digging the crap out of this game. This is this is quite cool. Is this one of the suspects? I feel like, what are these points of interest? Should I investigate one of these points of interest? I feel like I should. Let's go check this one out. Let's see what's going on here. You've been studying the outside of the church for a few minutes now. It's fairly recent, square with sharp edges, gray and ugly. This is where the congregation of one of your subjects, Gilda Berger, gathered. You get out of your taxi and climb the few steps to the front door. Despite how late it is, it's slightly ajar. Oh, shh. You go inside. The nave stretches out before you. There are a few people sitting in the pews, lots of women by themselves. By the look of their clothes and their ages, you're pretty certain they're cleaning women. In just a few minutes, they'll leave to take the bus or metro to clean offices all over Paris. Your eye is drawn to a very primitive and colorful wall painting on your left. In front of you stands the altar, and behind it, a man who appears to be the priest. You cross the remaining meters between you and the man. He eventually hears you, turns around, and looks you over. His expression is immediately unpleasant. May I help you? Yes. Sorry to disturb you. No trouble at all. His face says just the opposite. I have a few questions for you. Questions about who or what? About one of your believers. Oh no, I don't think so. He slowly licks his lips and starts talking again. Our doors are always open to believers. I simply ask that you not disturb the peacefulness of daybreak. You resist the temptation to punch his brains out. We have a very tight-knit community and our bonds are very strong. He holds one hand out to indicate the exit, like the drop of an axe. He says, I wouldn't want to keep you. Don't make a scene. Don't draw any attention to yourself. You turn around and take a few steps away from the altar and finally see the faces of the churchgoers. All women. One of them is eyeing you. You look down. As you leave the church, so you don't lose your temper, I was going to say you don't lose your temperature, you concentrate on the floor tiles. They're checkered, black and white. Slam the door shut behind you. Back in your cab, back to breathing normally. You smile as you think about something your boss said. This taxi is your fishbowl. He's right about that. Key in the ignition, motor running, heat on, radio on. You drive away, far from church. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's one pause. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, but I shall be right back. All right, I am back. Oop. I wish there was a way that I could set up shortcut buttons on this Twitch studio. I know it's in beta. Twitch, if you're listening, please, please, please. All right. Should I go get some gas? I should get some gas. Let's get some gas. You pull over and stop at a gas station. Not a soul in sight. The fluorescent lights irritate your eyes, and the smell of pee is wafting up from the space in between the pumps. It's self-service here. You pay directly at the pump. The mini mart over there must sell newspapers. The person behind the counter must see and hear things. Might be worth asking a couple of questions. You don't quite know why, but Parisian gas stations are always frightening. Check out your surroundings before getting out of the taxi. walk into the mini mart. The guy behind the counter doesn't even look at you when he starts to talk in a lazy, lifeless tone. Can I help you? We already read the newspaper tonight, didn't we? Have you read the papers? He's all they're talking about. Just an offhand comment, casually brought up about the serial killer. The guy behind the counter seems like he's interested in the case. You sigh. What did I just buy? Was that a scratcher? That was a scratcher. Come back tomorrow. Please come back soon. The clerk's still in the middle of his sentence when you leave the shop. Rude. Damn. Let's see here. What is this? What is that? Is that a face? Is that a person? What is that? We're gonna go investigate. I don't know. Yeah. It reminds me of, what was it? You notice a cat sitting on the roof of a car parked off to the side. You get the impression he's just watching you. What the heck is... What am I going to go pick up? Wow. It's a long-ass drive. Okay. Fine. Aw, shit, man. Sorry about that. Just closing my water. No, he's got a bunny costume on. Your next passenger is holding a bow, which he inadvertently pokes in his eye while getting into the taxi. He leaps into the back seat, looks at you with a lost expression on his face. I'm supposed to be at the Gambetta bus station in less than 15 minutes. Your seatbelt. You run the first red light you come across. With a little luck, you'll get this kid to his bus. You see him moping behind you. Shit, was it really that hard to be on time, bro? You shit stain. You can't miss this bus. You just can't, man. Everything okay? Yeah, okay. This might sound a little crazy, but what do you think of my Gravia outfit? Gravia? Yeah, it's a race in the game. The bow, the helmet, the armor, you know, all that shit. It's a costume? A cosplay, not a costume. It's serious business. Shit. All for this chick. I'm so into her. I even started playing her favorite game, Lost Legend 5, to make her like me, but I look like a moron. Looks at the time on the meter. Chill out, man. You ever done anything like this for a chick? Oh yeah, I definitely did some stupid stuff. Much stupider than dressing up. It's not dressing up. It's a cosplay. He turns his bow over. This cosplay is for a convention? Yeah, in Belgium. There'll be thousands of cosplayers. It's pretty legit. Will there be lots of graviers? Gravias. No, I don't think so. They're popular, but the costume is daring. You've got to flash your abs at everyone all weekend. I'm sure it'll be fine. You really think so? Well, it's daring, plus you're the only one dressed like that. He takes a minute to think. You're still totally right. How could she not be into me? You park in front of the bus station. Your passenger hands you a bill to pay his fare. Keep the change. I've always wanted to say that. Good luck with the Gravier thing. Gravia. Yeah, thanks, man. A second later, he's running for his bus, his bow slung across his back. Oh, dang. He left me a little bit of a chunker tip. A little chunker tip. Isn't this a bit much for a girl? Well, maybe. I don't know. Depends on the girl. It depends. Oh, dang. Oh, my goodness. There's a lot. There's too many to pick up. I don't know who all to pick up. I can't make these decisions. Why choices and things? Don't make me. Who is this in the... Wait a minute. Is that the dude? Or the Santa? The knight or the Santa? Furry's always got money. Okay, let's do the Santa. I'm feeling Santa. It's bad. Why? Why do I always have money? Because they ain't got much else. Okay. Your next passenger smells like beer. Thanks. God, look at this guy. Yes. No, it's even worse. It's like every single fiber of his Santa suit has been soaking in a keg. Bad Santa. Come on, dash away. His breath is 96% brandy. Your eyes are starting to sting. I'm parked somewhere near the Champs Elysees. Oh, shit. The name of the street is... His head is spinning and he does his best to hang onto the door. They'll come back to me. Go ahead, drive. You start driving and silently wonder how to ask your passenger if he has enough money to cover the fare. You glance back at your passenger. He's mumbling to himself, but you can't quite make out what he's saying. Christmas is over, so why is he still dressed up? You have a nice evening? Oh, fabulous. A smile spreads across his face. And I really needed it. He lowers his voice. He's confiding in you. Please don't. After working my ass off all year long, I like to hit my favorite pubs. I get monumentally wasted. He guffaws. Here in Paris, there's a bunch of bistros perfect for just such an occasion. No one talks to you and they have white wine so dry it eats away at the inside of your mouth. And so many different types of brandy, pear brandy, cognac. He closes his eyes in delight. And sometimes I order one eeny weeny beer to cleanse the palate. He's almost whispering. Okay, it's usually not one of them fancy miracle brews there. He jumps. Oops, but don't tell anyone, okay? Just imagine if people found out Santa Claus thought the beer here tasted like piss. He laughs a sparkling laugh. When he stops, it's just to throw out non-committally. Anyway, you can't say anything anymore. Honestly, with all the trouble I go to, people should just leave me the fuck alone. All those fair weather activists, they still want their little snot-nosed miracles to get the latest stupid toy. Oh hey, speaking of snot-nosed kids, what is it with this manure pile of new generation? 50 years back, you could give a kid a book and he'd go on about it his whole life, all starry-eyed. But today's little whiners, what an eyesore. Fucking hell. They want to have it all, but they don't like anything.
They all have GSMs when they're 8. Those things cost a whole month's wages. How can you possibly make them happy after that? How?
He's staring at you, waiting for you to answer. Trip?
A trip? He burst out laughing. Now there's a shitty idea.
Oh, god dang it.
What kid wants to have his ass stuck on a plane for 15 hours? I'll tell you what they want. What kids these days want are machine guns and dolls whose hair you can fix.
He seems to have calmed down for a second, but it was just an illusion.
Speaking of which, both girls and boys like those dolls whose hair you can fix.
He twitches his mustache in silence.
Back when I still made toys for kids, I can tell you they couldn't care less about them. Couldn't give a damn. They just wanted to have fun, play, laugh, and forget that their parents were losers.
He leans over to you, rife with anger.
Fuck, that's the real problem. I'm telling you, parents are losers. Idiots. Putting kids into this world? Those guys haven't got a clue. Am I right? Or am I right? I mean, have you seen the state of the ice cap these days? Have you? Huh? Because there's not much of it left.
He pauses.
Now, I can't say it's all bad. I don't have as many polar bears coming into my yard. Damn nasty beasts. Vicious. Mean. I'm not sad to be rid of them.
He leaves a long sigh through his beard.
Before, things were different.
Tears form at the corner of his eyes.
Shit. I can't talk about the past without crying like a little girl.
He throws you a sideways glance.
No need to stab.
You don't even have time to react, and he starts back into his rant.
I remember you, you know. To tell the truth, I remember everyone. Every single person.
Is this really freaking Santa Claus?
You were an angry one. So terribly angry. And your letters, your handwriting, holy fuck, were they hell to decipher. Don't worry though. The elves handle all of that for me.
You could hear a hint of disgust in his voice when he brought up the elves.
Otherwise, wouldn't have time to do nothing.
Yeah,
you were just furious. It's like someone punched you in the stomach.
Oh, I read that in his voice and that shouldn't have.
Your brother was giving you hell.
Someone reaching your gut.
Man, what an...
He suddenly thinks of something and stops talking. His gaze wanders outside.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about something else.
How do you know all that?
You still don't get who I am.
You stare at him in the rearview mirror.
Look, kid, I'm not going to spell it out for you. And something tells me you'd rather avoid the subject. A little something called jail.
What the fuck? Another punch to the stomach.
So there's your Christmas present. We're not going to talk about it.
He smiles, opens his eyes wide.
Wait, I think we're almost here. Slow down a bit, kid.
He searches outside for... What are we looking for?
We're looking for my sleigh, kid.
Oh my gosh.
What else?
He looks at you with pity.
It shouldn't be too hard to spot. There's the sleigh and a couple half-dozen reindeer. I'm sure it's like in an alleyway somewhere. Oh, right over there. Turn right.
You obey and go up the street you were on a few seconds before. A few meters down, your passenger stifles a yelp.
Oh shit, it was right here. Drive around the block.
You turn again. In back, your passenger is mumbling.
I'm gonna have to get one of those thingamajigs, GPSs. Help me find my sleigh more easily.
You eventually pull over an alley, no light, a few empty office buildings, and some trash cans that haven't been emptied for days.
Kid, sorry about before. I didn't mean, to bring up any sore points.
He pays his fare.
Watch your back, kid.
He gets out and slams the door. He slips on the wet sidewalk, grabs onto a street lamp, and with a heavy, awkward step, He clumps along the alley. Wait, stay. You sit for a minute, watching him. At the end of the alleyway, he starts rummaging through a pile of boxes, pushes a trash can on wheels aside, and disappears. What the? Stay a bit longer. A few minutes go by and nothing. You turn the key and start driving again. You open the window for a second, hoping to get rid of the alcohol fumes. Something tells you they'll stick around for a while. Oh, that was some good money. That was some good money. Yes, yes. Oh, it looks like I can actually go home, but I'm gonna try. I've been seeing this lady a lot. I'm gonna pick her up. She like right there. Easy money. Yeah. Oh gosh. Let's accept. Your next passenger is alone and waiting for you on the sidewalk. She gets in the cab and whispers, "Hello." She has no handbag or suitcase, just a small handmade sign with an Indian name printed on it. "Charles de Gaulle, please." She is young with a soft and slight accent. Her face shows no emotion. Her fingers play with a small gold chain around her neck. It's the only piece of jewelry she has on. You drive, glancing back at her from time to time. Her head seems to be elsewhere. "Everything all right?" She nods her head gently, cracking a tiny smile. It's really early. The first planes to come in are the worst. Everyone is exhausted and half asleep. Yes, exactly, and she sighs. I must confess, I don't really want to go there. A tiny smile lights her face up for a split second before disappearing. Ah, family? My future husband. Well, future. I've never even met him. Her accent suddenly becomes stronger. You know this habit well. Just before confiding in you, passengers tend to relax into their natural accent. I'm sure he's a great guy, as they say here. Sadness appears in her voice. But I don't know him at all. My parents chose him. It's crazy, isn't it? Are you shocked? Yeah. Sad smile washes briefly over her face. It's tradition, or at least it used to be. My parents are a bit old school, even by current standards in India. I chose to study here and not in England like my sisters. She flashes a smile. I fell in love with Paris and decided to stay. I almost never go home. Actually, this is home now. Anyway, my parents insist I meet him. He decided to make the trip, saying he had a meeting as a pretext. It's unacceptable. No, you don't understand. This is just the way things are. And I knew it would happen one day. They've been talking about it for ages. I try to avoid the subject. It's obvious you don't want it to happen. It's understandable from their perspective. I mean, it worked for them, right? You sense something bubbling up, anger, before she freezes. Some people refuse to let their emotions out. She slowly regains control of her body. What day trips would you recommend outside Paris? Nearby. She nods. Versailles, of course. It's really beautiful. Definitely worth it. Her face lights up. Oh yes, perfect. I'm sure he'll like that. Or there's Fontainebleau. There's a huge park, very wild, if he likes hiking. I don't really know. She smiles shyly. You prefer to say nothing. The airport's not much farther. Something about the young woman makes you feel uncomfortable. She looks as if she is about to scream, but is holding it in. Time passes and silence fills the cab. Which terminal? Your question startles her. Terminal C. 2C, I think. It's supposed to be a nice day out today. A smile crosses her face, then quickly disappears. Yes, I hope so. Thank you. You park the car in front of Terminal 2C. Wish I could have did that better. Feel like I failed that. Your passenger grabs her sign and exits the cab. She pauses for a second, as if she were about to say something. Then she disappears.
God dang! Look at that money! Look at that money! I take all your cash.
Did pretty well. Look at them profits. Oh god. No! I lost so much money. No. I cheered Hugo up.
I met Santa.
I was like all in the red. Santa talked about your brother. You did not find Santa's sleigh. You can actually find his sleigh? I screwed that up, didn't I? Met Perva. Talked about her husband to be. No! Could have did that better. At the foot of your front door, just behind a drain pipe, you notice an envelope. It's thick and heavy. You can just make out your name written in thick black marker on the front. Your real name. You take a deep breath and go inside. In the envelope, you find more information, just as Bousset promised. Should call her Busset. Lay them on the table. You take a few minutes to update your board with new clues. Steps in the hallway. They stop in front of your door, then move away. What the hell? Take off your shoes before getting to work. So does it matter if I go to sleep, or like it just matters how I use my time? Okay. Picture of the crime scene. Okay. Alright, so we met Gilda. Hospitalized after her mother's death. Difficult relationship with her dad, also working at the opera. Catholic and a member of the Korean community in Paris. So the ones that are connected to her, only one crime scene, or message on crime scene 1 is only one God. She talks to Jesus. Okay. Was an activist when she was younger, part of the Moon Flesh cult. Chef in La Pierre restaurant in Paris, in financial troubles. Okay. What is the last one? Spare key under the door. This fool. Killer is less than 1 meter and 80. What does that mean? Oh, so it's showing how all of these are connected. Oh, okay, so that's height. Right. Okay. So Herv. Picture on the crime scene. He watches you. Crime scene 2. So this guy. Oh. So the height is so 1.81 m, but the killer is shorter, right? That means that the killer is shorter than that. Couldn't be him. Couldn't we rule him out then? Oh wait, yeah. Couldn't we rule him out because he's already shorter? Height. And she's taller too. Could rule both of them out based off of height alone. But my man Herb. Alright. Try to get the ones. I gotta figure out how the hell do you organize this? Okay, let's see. There's that. Fish room. Okay. So, message on crime scene 1 is only one god. Message on crime scene 3, lust. Message on crime scene 2, he watches you. So there's a religious slant to this, right? Only one god who watches you, lust. So if victim 2 opened the door to the killer, break-in for crime scenes 1 and 3. Had garlic in her hand. Murderous rituals. Okay. So, I mean, there's an obvious religious slant here, right? Only one God. He watches you. Lust. So those are the messages that were left on the thing. We already know homegirl is super religious. She talks to Jesus. We tried to stop by the church, and there were issues with the church. Yep. She is smaller than the killer. Or the killer is smaller than... yeah, so in terms of height, that makes sense. But we have to figure out how we tie these to her. So we know for a fact that there's that. There's the fish symbol with blood drawn on the wall. I'm not sure what that means. And the murder weapon is the fillet knife. Victim 2 opened the door to the killer. If Victim 2 opened the door to the killer, I mean, we did kind of throw out there the fact that maybe she, or Victim 2, I don't know if it's a girl or a guy, but if Victim 2... If Victim 2 opened the door, could have been that she was at the door, right? Nondescript kind of person shows up. But there's a break-in for crime scenes 1 and 3. We gotta put that here. Victim 4 gave part of her fortune to defend an animal cause. Murders, rituals, I will probably put that here. It's gotta be. Oh, right now, I'm thinking that there's a lot of information connected to her, but also this is all just conjecture. Okay, I need more data. Okay. Is that it? So that's it. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You slowly open the sofa bed and lie down. Events of the day run through your head. Knocking out. Some water. Someone flushes the toilet, and you hear the pipes shake. One of them runs under your bed. You find the sound calming. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 03. All right. We're good on gas. Do we want to listen to the radio? Yeah, we can take a little time to listen to the radio. Finger is poised in front of the car radio. You're trying to find something to listen to. Listening to news. Happen upon the nighttime news. The anchor talks about the release of a highly awaited video game. Herder. A long line of fans has formed in front of the store on the Champs-Élysées, where the game will go on sale at midnight. One of them refers to Lost Legends 5 as the game of the century. You recognize his voice and hope he has more clothes on than when he was in your cab. As soon as the news is over, you turn the radio off so that the cab is silent again. Alright. Oh. Is that Perva again? We should go pick her up. Ditch the hero, get with the zero. Haha. Haha. No. Okay. Two women getting in the cab give you their address. They say nothing as you start the car. Faint scent of alcohol hangs in the air. They've been drinking. After a moment's silence, the younger of the two breaks the silence. So, what do you think? About him? Who else? Of course him. Not the bar. Well, I'm not sure. A strange sound escapes her. She sighs. He seems pretty dumb. Dumb? How so? You know, dumb as a doornail. All but staring at himself in the mirror over the bar when he went to get drinks. But does that matter? No, not really. He's got a good body, good looking, lots of energy. He's got a sort of animal vibe, like a little like a panther. I really like that style. You really like that style? The passengers exchange a look. The older of the two gives her friend a smile. You know exactly what I mean. They reach for each other's hand in the back of the seat, in the back seat of the car. The gesture is full of tenderness. Don't be stealing moments. A moment's silence. The older woman clears her throat. What about you? What did you think of him? The young woman gives herself a minute to think. I don't know. He was heavy, too sure of himself, and he spends too much time at the gym. Did you get that bit about... Yeah, please, an innuendo about sexual performance? A short, mocking laugh escapes her. He was pretty heavy-handed with all his expertise on yoga and orgasms. True, though strong pelvic floor muscles can't hurt. Well, anyhow, he was all preachy. You should write a book, The Perfect Gift for Your Ex-Husband. They burst out laughing. When the laughter dies down, the younger of the two resumes talking at a more serious tone. Anyhow, like I was saying, she looks at her friend intently. Is it really that important? I mean, we're looking for a donor. Not a father, not a lover, not a guardian or godfather. Nothing but a donor. Yeah, just a donor. She casts a glance in your direction, conscious all of a sudden they aren't alone in the cab. She goes on, lowering her voice. Yes, but still. Nailed it. If he had been a date, I think I would have been out there in 5 minutes flat. I do yoga. I meditate 6 hours a day. I went to Tibet to learn the ancient art of... And serfdom did exist in Tibet before the 1950s. I checked on Wikipedia. I thought Buddhists were supposed to be curious and open-minded. He was like some old conservative dude in the body of a young Brad Pitt. But like you were saying, does all that really matter? Our friend nods. The two young women are lost in their respective thoughts. You know, I'm not against that kind of stuff or anything. It's up to him. If he wants to be a drag with all that yoga and meditation bullshit, I don't have a problem with that. She gives her girlfriend a reassuring look. Anyhow, there's no way any of that is going to be passed on to our daughter. Ah! Or our son. Her friend flashes her a big smile. But it's going to be a girl, I can feel it. In yoga, it's not genetic. We'll have to ask Dr. Vidal. Yes. I bet he'd really love that. He'll think we're messing with him. Okay, Van. He said we could ask him anything. He's going to take us for a couple of idiots. Besides, it's impossible. Pompousness cannot be passed on to children. The younger woman doesn't seem convinced and makes an exaggerated pout. So you're saying an ear for music, yes, that's passed on, but pretentiousness isn't? Exactly. Okay, so if you don't want to believe me, she leans toward you all of a sudden. Sorry to bother you, but did you hear what we were just talking about? Yes, I did. No need to feel embarrassed or anything. We were talking out loud after all. My friend lets out a sigh. Come on, leave him alone. I was just asking. Well, right, so my wife and I are meeting potential donors in order to conceive a baby. Her partner rolls her eyes. We were wondering if you thought pretentiousness could be passed on to children. Genetically. You give her a look in the rearview mirror and take a moment to answer. The question is so utterly absurd. Leave him alone, Emily. He's a taxi driver, not a geneticist. Don't get all worked up about it. I'm just asking his opinion. I don't know. The passenger flops back onto the car seat. So the answer is no, is it? You're no fun. Seriously, we should have taken another cab, driven by a genetics expert. She bursts out laughing. The younger passenger leans forward towards you. Sorry. My partner doesn't mean anything by all that. We've had a bit to drink, and it's the first time for us tonight. We're meeting donors. You pull up to the client's address and cut the engine. No problem. The passenger seems relieved. I'm a cab driver. I'm used to all kinds of funny stuff. I can imagine. Have you been driving a cab for long? You avoid her eye. Yeah, you could say that. The passenger pays for the ride. She lets out a sudden guffaw and can't help adding. Anyhow, thanks for answering. Come on, Emily, that's enough. As her friend tugs at her arm, Emily starts to mumble to herself. I definitely think we should ask the doctor, just in case. We need a second opinion. You wait until the two women have entered the building and start the car. Look at that tip. Look at that tip. You like that tip? Look at that. Look at that. Good money. I want to pick up this doofus. I'm curious. I didn't even think about that. Oh my god, I didn't. Oh no. I did not even think about that. You're terrible. You're terrible. Dang, he's really far. Charles de Gaulle, Phil Bourgeois. Okay. The passenger who settles into the back seat could be a male model. Well, he might have money. Oh my god. He asks you to take him to Charles de Gaulle Airport. His voice is mild and pleasant. Since your passenger wants to talk about the killer, it's simple. Since the first murder, everyone thinks they know something. Everyone thinks they saw something. And this passenger is no exception. You watch him in the rearview mirror as he adjusts his clothes, checks his breath, obviously primping. You drive people to the airport all the time. They bring along a suitcase or a bouquet of flowers. Your passenger doesn't have either. He's looking at himself in the rearview mirror. His lips part and he runs his tongue along over his teeth. Nothing stuck in my teeth, right? You shake your head no. You wonder why he is going to the airport. You're wondering why I'm going to the airport, aren't you? Don't be shy. I'll tell you anyway, but don't tell a soul. What the? It's our little secret. I don't want your secret. His voice has changed, as if he were about to deliver a speech. Women today are too smart for us men. Oh my god. Too smart. They're on to us the minute we try to hit on them. He crinkles his nose as if there were a bad smell in the cab. There are dozens of books on how to get lucky, on how to score, but they all make the same big mistake. You know what that mistake is I'm talking about? They were written by men? Say nothing. You don't know, do you? Nothing wrong with that. The fact of the matter is, all those books about hitting on women never tell you where the best hunting grounds are. Oh my god. A theatrical pause. Airports. Another theatrical pause. It's brilliant, right? Women in airports are lonely, emotional, and available. On the street, they're always in a hurry, don't have any time. At the movies or in museums, they don't want to be disturbed. But at the airport? He's clearly very proud of himself. He remains silent. He crinkles his nose and sniffs again. Is it me, or is there a funny smell in your cab? You sniff too. Sorry. I don't smell anything. He shrugs and goes back to his monologue. Personally, I prefer older women. Single moms who are at the airport to pick up or send their kids to their exes. They are waiting at the unaccompanied minors counter to get information about a late flight or a gate change. I walk over to the counter, look at the flight information, pretend to be worried. My sister, I say. I'm waiting for my little sister. She's never been to Paris before. I'm going to take her to the Louvre. She wants to work in fashion someday. She's already very talented. I hope everything is okay, that she had a good flight. She means the world to me. She's my half-sister, but I love her like a sister. A smile. He takes another sniff, glances around the cab, and picks up where he left off. He got stank-ass breath. The half-sister line, it works every time. Divorced parents, remarried. Every time. He bursts out laughing. Excuse me, do you mind if I ask you a personal question? No, of course not. Not at all. Anything to help you understand my game plan. Do you really need to go through all that? I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at. Well, you're rather attractive, physically. Slight pause. And? Is it really necessary to go to all that trouble to pick up women? Don't women like you? That's beside the point. It's more efficient, more productive. I go on the make twice a week, and I end up with dates for several weeks. And it's also a lot easier. It's less, how should I put it, personal. I know it won't ever get serious, and that's what I'm looking for. You see what I mean? You're afraid of women. What does that have to do with anything? You talk about women as if they might hurt you. So you hurt them to protect yourself. He bursts out laughing, but you can see he's uncomfortable. Wow, you're a shrink and a cab driver, am I right? I have to say, it's a great idea for drumming up more business. It's downright a revolution. Another nervous laugh. We were talking about scoring here. No need to get all worked up. It's not like anyone died or anything. There was a slight tremor in his voice. If they don't want to give me their number, they don't give me their number. I never insist. And a lot of guys do stuff that is a lot worse, right? So enough of the feminist bullshit theory. The cab pulls up to the drop-off point. Your passenger pays the fare in a hurry. Climbs out of the cab, then turns around somewhat hesitant. To be perfectly honest, you shouldn't talk to your passengers like that. His voice takes on an unpleasant, whining tone. It's not very professional. If I had an app, I'd give you a bad rating. I'm a whiny little bitch. He squares his shoulders and is about to walk off. And you should wash your cab too. It smells like shit. Actually, that's your breath. He walks away. Under the sole of his right shoe, you catch sight of a dark brown spot. The passenger disappears into the airport. You roll down the back seat window and start up the cab. Damn, he didn't even give me a tip. Fuck. I didn't want to let him get away with that shit. Fuck him. Oh, this is the dude. Okay, we gotta go pick him up. A shape on your right reminds you of the night you were attacked when light finally illuminated. Oh no, I missed it. No, I missed it. I didn't finish reading it. Hey pal, can you help me out? Sure. The door opens. It's Herve, a homeless man like hundreds of others in Paris. You've known each other for years, and every now and then he asks a favor of you, to drive him someplace. As usual, he greets you quietly, though he always seems a little on edge. Hey, buddy, what's up, pup? There's a strange verbal tick that you never really understood. You start the cab. Pretty cold tonight, right? His voice has a peculiar lilt to it, as if certain syllables were sung to stop him from stuttering. Hey, aren't you cold with your ass stuck to that car seat of yours? Yeah, we freeze our asses off. That's what I thought. Can't fool me. I know a cold guy when I see one. Got a place to stay in Passy. Any way you can give me a lift? Sure, of course. Great, mate. That way we stay nice and warm. In the 15 years I've been on the street, it's never been this cold, I swear. You know, some guys aren't going to make it. Shit. That's how it goes. For us, yes. Pause. His smell is gradually permeating the inside of the cab. It doesn't bring back fond memories, but it doesn't bother you either. You'll leave the door open later on to air help the cab. But you know, I'm used to it, even before, sure. I don't think I ever told you. When I was a kid, I was never cold. Never. A weird, uneasy break. One time, my mother dragged me into the Pyrenees during vacation. Didn't know what the hell to do with me. Liked to drink, you see. And the first night we were there, I broke a bottle of gin she brought along. Should have seen her. Threw a fit. Shit. She gave me a thrashing, but I gave as good as I got. That's how we used to be. That's how we used to talk back then. She ended up dragging me by my pants and locking me out on the balcony. Icicles were hanging from the eaves. It had snowed the day before, sure. I sat there for an hour, arms crossed, with like a cardigan on my back, and underpants on my ass. I didn't budge. She was storming around the apartment. My old lady was yelling at me, but I didn't hear nothing. And, well, the cold didn't get me, see? Felt nothing at all, nah. Wish I could say the same today. What happened in the end? Well, it got dark out. She let me in. Did. She was furious all week. It was the last time we went on vacation together. After that, she died. Number up? Yep. A pause. I used to tell my buddy, Seb, Lil Sebby, that story all the time. You know, the tall black guy who used to hang around with me. I'm not gonna say why that's so damn funny. Yeah. Well, he really loved that story. He asked me to tell it to him over and over again. But I think what he really loved was hearing me talk about my old lady. You know what I mean? Doesn't make us any younger, eh? Hey. Cab pulls up to the shelter in Passy. Fuck. Last time I was here, there was a protest out front. A bunch of guys from the neighborhood who didn't want us to squat the place. They were yelling their heads off, sounding like a bunch of goddamn sailors. Yeah, sailors. So I guess even those rich dudes have balls. He exits the cab. Thanks, man. I know I can count on you. Good luck. He rubs his hand together and walks towards the shelter. That was a waste of money. I gotta make that back. Come on, guys. Help me pick the next one. Who should I pick? I need money. I need money. You think the night has money? Oh, this is the other guy. That's the other murder guy. Okay, we'll go pick up the night. I need money. I can't get my profits down. And you're right, the door to a nightclub, music makes your windows shake. Your heart goes out to the neighbors. Oh, my good friend, I need thee to ride forth. Oh my God. The door opens. Your passenger enters wearing a, oh God, rather heavy-looking suit of armor. The plate metal clanks as he settles in. The horns seem dangerously close to the roof. Where goest thou, my lord? The knight recoils a little, perhaps in surprise. Ah, Taketh me not for thy superior, for I be lord to none. Yeah, I am thy humble servant, just as thou art mine. In sooth, since thou asked,
Ride onward, my friend, to Notre Dame, the most noble of Catholic cathedrals.
oh my god,
The jewel of the most magnificent city of Lutetia.
ah. Lutetia? In sooth, it is called Paris by the common people. Paris, that city of steel and stone. Noble stone worn away by the ages, glorious steel tempered by fire, the entire world, the world looking in awe at his wondrous face, its monuments soaring up to the heavens, singing praise to the mighty guardians of the citadel. He falls silent for a moment, then eventually leans in a little closer. Well then, I pray thee to the forecourt of Notre Dame de Paris. You nod and turn the key in ignition. You start the cab with last. The vibration of the cab sets your passenger's armor jangling. From time to time, his sword makes a funny humming sound. The ride through Paris continues in silence. The city is just waking up. Delivery trucks, the first buses of the day, and half-asleep pedestrians fill the streets. You feel a yawn creeping up your spine. Stifle a yawn. Your muscles tighten to prevent your mouth from opening. Your eyes glaze over. Oh god. The ride continues in silence. From time to time, your passenger shifts positions, and so does his plate pedal. You are nearing the streets around Notre Dame now. The night leans towards you.
Ah, the majestic towers appeareth yonder. What a tremendous sight! Oh, the marvel of it! Just think, it took dozens, scores of years to build it.
Looks out the window as you stop the cab.
My fellowship has come in.
In the early morning light, you see a gathering of warriors and soldiers of magicians and witches. What's going on?
My comrades in arms, my sisters and brothers. We're all going to Fontainebleau for 3 days, for 3 moons. We will visit the forest of Belhoon, the birthplace of Throgall the Rash.
Your passenger's rummaging through his armor. I know I put my wallet in here somewhere. He digs around for a minute, pinches a finger.
Damn it!
And eventually pulls out money for the fare. You watch as he tries to remove himself from the cab. First himself, bodily, helmet down so as not to damage the roof. Next his sword, with a clattering on the pavement, and lastly his shield, which no longer seems to fit through the door.
Good day, my dear fellow. Fare thee well.
The knight salutes you. You watch him as he joins a group of friends. There are cries of admiration all around. You recognize your passenger with the rabbit ears. He and the knight greet each other, compliments flying thick and fast. You turn the key in the ignition. Ugh, I didn't make any money. That was a terrible fare. That was terrible. Look at this. Look at this. Ooh, that's bad. I'm going to lose so much more money. I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get fired. I don't want to get fired. You didn't talk at all. Yeah, I know. This guy might have money. DJ Watson Covello. Okay. Door opens, passenger collapses into the back seat. His eyes are hidden behind a pair of large, dark glasses. His clothes reek of sweat and booze, a clubber. He mumbles his destination and you start driving. A few words are exchanged, the weather, taxes, traffic. Then you can tell it's coming. The inevitable conversation about the killer. Some bits of information, rumors, things overheard. You make a mental note of what you heard. Who knows? It might come in handy. Your mind wanders. Your eyes vaguely scan the store windows. The sodium light coming off the street lamps feels like it's dripping into your brain. You're falling asleep. You need a bit of music to keep you awake. You glance at your passenger. You mind if I put a little music on? He waves his hand as if to say, who cares? He turn the radio on, pressing on the dial to find a station you like. 80s rock ballad, too soft. Behind you, your passenger is snoring barely, but you can hear him. Atonal classical music sounds like the orchestra is badly tuned. Dry, not tonight. Crime reporter detailing new evidence in the Angel of Death case. The information seems important. An ad interrupts the torrent of words, and you change the station. Classical music again. The flute grates on your ears. Electronic music. You like the rhythm, but just aren't in the mood. Stop. You lift your hand from the dial, the music plays on. Not bad. Turn it up so I can hear better. I didn't want to wake you. His voice sounds like it's coming from a deep cavern. I wasn't sleeping, just sobering up. He leans forward. Not bad at all. You hear the touch of an accent, probably an American, but someone who's lived most of his life in France. Leave it on until they say the musician's name. The music continues, there's something turning in the background, a persistent melody that gets higher and higher. The client mumbles, I bet. The song is coming in to an end, and the announcer, in a piercing foghorn voice, throws out the name of a DJ you've never heard of. DJ Blunt. I knew it. You like his stuff? Yeah, it's a good product. It's pretty conventionally structured, but it's super popular. He snickers. Still, I taught the dude everything he knows. Everything. In '94 at a party in the rec club, there was this kid who started buying me rounds. He waves his hand around. A kid no older than 17. I thought he was hitting on me. He would have been disappointed. He shakes his head. Nope, he wanted me to teach him how to spin. I told him no, but you can watch. And that's exactly what he did every week until we moved to the Osiris. He sold X to pay his way in. He briefly snickers. And now he's on the radio. Silence fills the cab, weighted silence. You can tell your passenger's mind is spinning. You know what he did this summer? He was the opener for the soccer championship at Stade de France. It was huge. Wonder what people would think if they knew he was selling drugs at 17. He lowers his voice a bit. If they only knew. Your passenger clams up. You stare at your passenger and notice little details revealing how old he must be. The thinning hair on the top of his head, a crease in his forehead, his worn blazer that he can't quite fasten anymore. We ran into each other in Ibiza 4 or 5 years ago. He almost jumped at the sound of his voice. I was spinning in this little club. Yeah, really little, but it was something. He totally ignored me, of course. Even with those dark glasses, you can see how angry he is. DJ motherfucking cunt. He suddenly starts waving his arms around. He rummages through his pockets as he says, your radio. Can I take a flash drive? You glance at your radio. You don't really know what he's talking about. I don't know. No worries. He lays his phone in the space between the front 2 seats. Listen to this. It's what I played tonight. It's mine. He sets his phone to play. But, you know, people were barely dancing. A drum machine playing a hard-edged beat in the background. They were talking, taking each other's picture. 4 notes start to dance in the cab. They barely touch, never kiss anymore. Perfect dance beat becomes progressively audible. All that, purely electronic crescendo plays, is over. There's a break in the music. The synthesized strings calm the song down without slowing it down. At least, the song is getting intense again, explodes as your passenger drifts off. I got people dancing. The song keeps going for another minute, then stops. Your passenger doesn't budge. You drive to the rhythm of his snoring. The sound fills the cab. I Ideas are bouncing through your head like they do every time you find yourself alone. This guy in the back seat is too old to be young. You look at your own hands. They look like they're suddenly aging in time lapse. You close your eyes a second. Only a second. When you open them, you've reached your destination and have pulled over to the sidewalk. You tap your passenger's knee and he wakes with a start. Shit. Yeah? We're here, sir. Ah, yeah. Great. He rummages through his pockets and hands you a few rumpled bills for fare. Thanks. I hope you liked it. Silence. The music, my music. The song I played you. It should have been in the spotlight, you see. 15 minutes of fame. Just a minute of... He stifles a burp. You hear him mumble as he leaves the taxi. Those whiskey and oranginas really screw up my system. He seems staggered towards the building. It takes him several tries to get the door open. He finally disappears inside. You heave a long sigh. Okay, come on. Ugh. Nobody's paying. Nobody's paying. Okay. I gotta make some money. There's Murder Dude. Okay. Let's go with Murder Dude. Maybe we can get some good money from him. Need a drive to Issy. The passenger getting into your cab barely says hello. He mumbles an address and buries his head in his laptop. He taps away, not saying a word as you start driving. You have seen passengers like him before. Introverts. Silent types. People so absorbed in what they're doing they don't even notice you. The road flies by. The sound of the passenger's fingers on the keyboard reminds you of the sound of rain hitting the hood of your car. Having a good evening? He grumbles a laconic reply. He dives back into his computer screen. You keep an eye on him. His fingers are flying. You get the impression he's not typing full sentences. The rhythm is too short, halting. Are you a programmer? He lifts his head and looks at you with interest. No. Don't look at me. In a manner of speaking. How did you know? From the way you were typing. He pauses and flashes a tiny smile. Very perceptive. He stares back at his computer and types a few lines on the keyboard. Stop staring at me, dude. Fucking weird. He lifts his head all of a sudden. No! Stop looking at me! Look at those eyes! They're creepy! What do you think of the world? He holds his hands up. Sorry, that question came out of nowhere. How do you perceive the world? Does someone create it? A god? Many gods? An alien being? You remain silent for a moment. I used to believe, but I don't anymore. In God? Yahweh? Allah? Allah. The passenger nods. But not anymore? Nope. No more. I understand. Things have been rough for believers lately. I stopped believing long before. He smiles. You hesitate and say, I'm just not interested. He smiles at you. I get it. I feel the same way. Personally, I believe that all of this, he indicates the world around him, is of absolutely no importance. The world doesn't exist. The earth, the moon, the sun, how you felt when you got out of bed this morning, none of that exists. He pauses dramatically, no way to know whether or not it was on purpose. He clicks his tongue and stares at you. You feel uncomfortable. All of this is a simulation. I sincerely believe that. A computer simulation? He flashes a crooked smile. Exactly. We're more of a scientific experiment, a cryptocurrency mining operation, or maybe even an accident. No more, no less. He pauses and looks at you. How does it feel to learn that the world doesn't exist? That our God is nothing more than a computer program? It's sad. Sad? He's surprised by your answer. Yet, it goes with the times, with who we are. It's all just hot air. It could all be over tomorrow if someone pulls the plug, turns the computer off, reboots. That's why I'm working every minute I can on my project. He glances at his computer. I'm trying to figure out whether or not we really are in a simulation. We live, we eat, we sleep, we love. But if we deliberately try to put an end to the simulation, we might disappear. He stares intently at you. We are no longer. He seems to love that part of the speech. He's relishing in it. How can I prove it? Well, first I have to find a flaw in the system. A flaw? Yes, if we're a simulation, we're programmed. And the ones who programmed us either made mistakes or tried to save money. So we just have to find the float value weak spot so we can break it. We've got to crash the simulation and die in order to understand our own reality. It's a terrible fate, isn't it? Die to exist. Die to become real. Die to make our existence materialize. He pauses, smiles, stares. How does it feel to learn all that? Are you angry? Are you disappointed, sad, defeated, ready to commit suicide? I go through all those phases every day. He sighs. I tell myself the world isn't ready yet, and yet it's our future to discover our reality. He chuckles. You park your taxi in front of the address he gave you. He looks deeply into your eyes. So, how do you feel? I don't know. Excellent answer. The scientist's cardinal rule: always doubt, always question, and always verify. One day, if an atheist states that Allah doesn't exist, that he knows this because there is no scientific proof of his existence, you will know that he does not have the true scientific mind. Holy shit. I'm talking and talking and didn't even notice we'd arrived. I thank you kindly for this talk. It's always interesting to bounce ideas off one another to put them to the test. After all, we're waiting to wage war with the person or entity that made us. He pays his fare and gets out. Disappears quickly into his building, his laptop under one arm. That was solid. Yeah, it's not him. It can't be him. The religious nature of the kills goes against his kind of modus operandi, I guess. About to lose money. Ah! Oh, we made a little profit. Little bit of profit. Little bit. Boink, boink. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Chill, Derek. De Praha. A whole $4. Don't you judge my $4. You take a few minutes to update your board with new clues. You're suddenly overcome with the desire to sleep. You close your eyes, press your fingers to your eyelids, and let out a yawn. Take your shoes off before getting to work. So victim number 4. So there was a 4th victim. Victim number 4 was a wealthy widow. Couldn't be Jonas. Yeah. She gave part of her fortune to an animal activist. That's right. There we go. Yeah. What are you guys thinking? I mean, yeah, we got the simulation part. What the hell? Vampires exist is the real killer. This is Herb did not give us much at all. I couldn't guide that conversation the way I wanted it to. We'll have to pick him up again. I'm thinking. She crazy. She's still the one I'm like, I don't know about you. He was kind of weird, but he's not like where I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute. Oh, shit. Okay, so this is the source from the cop. This is the source from the taxi. Shit, okay. The phone rings and you jump. You're not used to hearing it. No one ever calls you. It must be busted. You pick up. Who say sounds irritated? You there? Yeah. Listen, it's... She pauses. You suddenly hear a ruckus in the background. Probably noise at the station. Busted raises her voice. Anyone got the time? Hey guys, anyone? Fuck. They're all Neanderthals here. Listen, it's early and I'm wiped out. So are you, I bet. Let's get straight to the point. What do you have for me? In a calm, methodical voice, you start giving her the evidence you collected. You start with the first subject, their connection to the victims, the rumors, then the subject, so on and so on. A few minutes in, she lets out a whistle. Not bad at all. Seriously, you should come give a lesson to the zombies I work with. A long sigh. I have some good news for you. We checked the alibi of one of the suspects I gave you. As you listen to her, you turn to the board and pull down the suspect she was referring to. So it's got to be someone else. She snickers. You know how lucky you are? I'm doing your job for you, pal. Okay, enough chit-chat. I gotta run. I'll call you in 2-3 days, okay? I'll call you in 3 days, and you better have what I need to make a proper arrest. Oh, God. The DA has fangs. We're pretty sure he's going to turn into a werewolf at some point. She babbles on for a while. Her voice becomes softer, but just as sarcastic. That would explain his terrible breath. Okay, I'm out. She hangs it up. Hold the handset to your ear for a while. You just have one thing in mind, sleeping and forgetting it all. Yeah. Yeah, Herb wasn't, it felt like Herb, yeah. We haven't talked to the rich lady, so I have no idea about her, but I'm thinking it's Gilbert. find your studio calming. There's something special about living in a garret like yours is the last place before the sky starts. Get up quickly. Alright, night 4. Let's do this. Oh, I know who that is. Oh, there's Herb again. No, we're leaving Herb alone. I'm so curious about this story. I want to know that they find the guy. The passenger into your cab slams the door and stares at you intently. Oh God. Stare back. It's a showdown. The weapons, 2 pairs of eyes. The goal, you have no idea. Her gaze from the back seat seems to be boring holes into your head. Up front, you clutch the steering wheel, trying not to lose face. It's trench warfare. You, on one side, stiff neck, red eyes, aching muscles jittering from not having smoked for days. And her tense, nervous, practically foaming at the mouth, obviously burning with pent-up rage. If I were to say to you, her voice is slightly raspy with an oddly metallic sound. October 27th. That's the date, the night of the attack, the night you... Could this woman be the Angel of Death? 10:46 p.m. No, the attack took place after. Does that ring a bell? You nod your head. Yes, it does, miss. Don't you miss me! Not another word. She waggles an accusing finger at you. Last October 27th. Oh shit, what did I do? You were in this cab, driving a fare, and you committed a crime. That's right, sir. A crime. I spent the whole day working like an idiot for that rotten newspaper. Do you have any idea what I do for a living? I'm a sub-editor, Mr. Taxi Driver. I correct mistakes that a bunch of moron journalists make. There isn't a single one, not one, who knows how to write a proper sentence. I had it, really had it, on the night of October 27th, you cut me off. Couldn't care less. I'm simply telling you my story, my problem. You cut me off the night of the accident. You almost died that night. She grinds her teeth. You shudder. I crashed my car, my boyfriend's car, that is. Same guy who made yet another comment about women drivers. The neighbors called the police that night. I made such a scene. To think the guy dares call himself a feminist. She pauses for dramatic effect as a disturbing smile spreads over her face. Her voice is suddenly noticeably quieter, almost fragile. The next day, no more boyfriend. No more car. I messed up a job interview with a major news outlet, a paper where people know how to write, where they follow basic rules of French grammar. Imagine for just a minute I could have stopped correcting a copy for a bunch of morons. But all because of you. Because of your cab, everything changed the night of October 27th. A sad, faraway look comes over her. My life has never been the same since. But her voice is bursting with fury and hatred. Forced to go live with my mother while I went apartment hunting in this rotten city where tiny studios cost an arm and a leg. So I started looking for you. The back of your neck breaks into a sweat. You can feel cold, clammy droplets about to drip down your spine. I started asking around. Bribed one of your colleagues into giving me your number. A droplet of sweat starts sliding down your back. Then I found your address, your first one that is. You shiver as the drop reaches your boxers. Well, that's your business. What matters is, I did eventually get your other address, the real one. The droplet has reached your tailbone and you started shaking. First, I admit I was planning on going to your place, Just maybe just spit in your face or something like that. And then I thought to myself, no, Ludovine, maybe the guy deserves a chance. You never know. So you're going to apologize. Go on, give it your all. Take your time. Take a deep breath. Like that. I'm sorry, but I don't remember that night. Not memorable enough, huh? No, I've forgotten what happened that night. She freezes. A few minutes after I met you, I was attacked. Attacked by the killer. The Angel of Death. Probably. It's you. You survived. Yeah. A host of conflicting feelings flicker across her face. Doubt, surprise, anger, the desire to slap you. And she falls back against the car seat, all her anger somehow gone. I didn't know. The police wanted to keep it all a secret. I didn't see the killer's face, and you didn't see mine, for my own protection, for my peace of mind. The newspaper where I work, they're looking for you. We have a reporter looking for you. The last few months have been difficult for me. Really difficult. I'm still sorry. Even if I don't remember anything, even though I was attacked, it doesn't change anything about me. You can't find the right words. Maybe because you imagine for a moment, a normal night, how things should have been. Passengers, rides in Paris, tourists heading to Mauritius or something. And you, your cigarettes, cheap packs of beer, and a little radio next to your bed. Your passenger cleared her throat. She's noticed your mind is elsewhere. Thanks. All her anger has evaporated. No more looks that could kill, simmering rage, or grinding teeth. My boyfriend was a jerk anyway, and then this job, maybe it wasn't so great. She gives you a little smile. I tend to get all worked up about things. You'd notice. And sometimes I take things a little too far. That too. In Paris, I guess we were quick to forget about being nice to each other. About being polite, and for a taxi driver, you're a real sweetheart. She gives a short laugh. This is what I suggest. I'm going to exit the cab. I'm going to go for a little walk in the cold to get my mind off things. And then when I get home, I'll destroy all the information I have on you. Is that okay with you? You nod yes. Thank you. This word echoes for a moment through the taxi. Your passenger reaches for the door. The door opens, then closes. You're alone in the taxi, your head spinning slightly as if you had a drink. Just one, but something really strong. You briefly try to remember that night. Nothing. Nothing but a vague impression of something behind you. The killer's silhouette, a fleeting presence. You shake your head. There's nothing more than before. If only you had turned around. Everything would have been easier if you had seen the face of... All at once you start the cab. Damn. Damn. Okay. Well, we didn't burn any time there. That was solid. Let's go get this lady. She's been like... She's popped up a couple times now. Just a second. I'll be right back. All right. I am Baku. Baku. Okay. The passenger gets into the cab and gives you her address. Her voice is muted, far away. You start up the cab. She appears rather meek, subdued, like she's about to fade away. You look up at her. She returns your gaze, but she's not there. It's as if you weren't looking at an actual person, but a silhouette instead, in the shape of a human being. Everything all right? Your question surprises her. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. Her eyes in the rearview mirror tell another story. Seem preoccupied. Your passenger flinches. She's obviously uncomfortable. No, it's nothing. I'm just thinking about my thesis. Lately, it's all I think about. Your thesis? Yes. Not another word. She turns her head slightly, as if thinking about something unpleasant. What's the subject? The progressive nuns of France Abbey at the dawn of the industrial era. The air in the cab seems icy. I didn't quite get that. It's a thesis on nuns who introduced quasi-industrial production regulations at a time when the rest of Europe, she sighs, it's deadly boring, a subject that no one's interested in. My thesis supervisor for a start, my parents, my ex, and worst of all, even me. She stares at you. The subject is a trap. It's never been explored and it informs our perception of women in the 18th century. But no one is interested in it. That's how it goes. I got used to my thesis, to the subject. Doctoral theses are rarely interesting, you know. But mine, I think I've hit rock bottom. You shouldn't say that. I don't need your pity. She speaks in cool, clipped tones without any animosity. You find it disconcerting. I choose the path I'm on. I'm entirely accountable for it. She hesitantly lifts a hand. But I'm the one who chose my thesis. Me and no one else. To be honest, it will no doubt be the only thing that remains of me when I die. What if you tried something new? Something new? Like what? I have no practical skills whatsoever. Do you know how to drive? She stares at you. As a matter of fact, yes, I do. Then you could drive a cab. Brief pause. I see what you're hinting at, but I don't think I'd be able to do it. I'm sure your job requires more than driving skills. I'm not very good with people. I wasn't either at first. And then, day after day, I got to know better people. I got to know people better, to understand them. It's something you learn. She lowers her eyes. I'd like to believe you. Taxi driver is just an example. There are dozens of jobs that don't require any particular skills, as you said. You have to give it a go. Try your luck. Me, before I did this job, I thought I was no good for anything. Then someone gave me a chance, trained me, gave me... You break off. The young woman is visibly moved. Unshed tears glisten in the darkness of the cab. Sorry. Don't be. It's nothing. It's me. A wry smile tugs at the corner of her mouth, as if she enjoys the thought of seeing loathsome people suffer. My parents think... Her voice falters. She is unable to go on. It takes her a few seconds to pluck up the courage to speak again. My parents think I've made a mess of my life. I know they do. They haven't said so, of course. They are there for me. They help me. But deep down, they know it's too late. I'm 28 and doing a doctoral thesis on 18th century nuns. My brothers went to top business schools and earned MBAs. They're married and have children. And me, I'm compiling pages and pages of information on nuns. You pull up to the passenger's address, an opulent-looking building in the 16th arrondissement. The young woman is perfectly still, seemingly paralyzed. I'm very grateful to you for having tried to cheer me up. Without success, but I really appreciate you trying. A traceable smile plays across. You believe that everyone has a purpose in life. She shrugs. I don't. She hands you the fare, then exits the cab without a word. A moment later, she's walking away, heading towards her building. You sit there a moment longer, then start up the cab. Damn. I feel like I could have handled that better. Oh, we got a murder subject or a suspect. Shit. Two police officers standing in front of a building stare at your taxi as it goes by. You speed up just a bit so you don't have to see them anymore. Yeah. Chérie, it's me, Apollonie. Okay. The woman getting into the cab is a regular and a suspect, but you haven't seen her for a while. I didn't know she was regular. Oh crap. She always makes you feel uncomfortable. She claims to be, Chérie, I'm thirsty. A vampire. Oh god. Oh, that was one of the clues. Yo! So thirsty. I have no idea what's going on tonight. Oh, I'm absolutely parched. And I'm sick of going to the Belvedere again and again. What a bore. And note, of course I love the place. The decor reminds me of the old plantation, but it's become so routine. And when a routine sets in, you're a goner. You give her a quick look. No, Chérie, not literally. Don't look at me that way. The thing is, I'm looking for something fresh, full of life. With a good, strong heart, nice and strong. A little gay guy who works in advertising, a vegan addicted to MDMA. Do you know where I can find one? A chill runs down your spine. What if you couldn't find the right kind of bar? Think about places. There's the place called Solil's, a rather pretentious wine bar you heard about. Not all that young, not much dancing, but it might do the trick. There's a wine bar called Solil's. It's a bit more conservative with an older clientele. Your passenger thinks it over a minute, and then waves you on. Sure, why not? I feel like a change. I'm naturally curious. It's my greatest shortcoming. You see what I mean? She reveals a pair of excessively large eye teeth. You smile with difficulty. Large eye teeth? What the hell is eye teeth? The passenger seems to have lost interest in you. It's the second or third time you picked her up. She's told you her life story every time. Could she really be a vampire? You'd rather not ask. You hear a slight cough. How long have we known each other now? A few months, I guess. I take more cabs in the summer, that's for sure. I have to stay more on my toes. A knowing wink. I used to have a driver. Suddenly, her head seems to be elsewhere. What happened to him? She smiles. Something awful. Retirement. A burst of laughter. There's a particular quality to her voice. voice, as if someone else in the car were laughing alongside her. Anyhow, I can't afford a driver anymore. Human life is so pricey these days, Sherry. Back when my mother was a slave, she was worth nothing, or near about so. Today, everyone is worth something. We are all equal. She waves a hand before her face, then utters something in icy tones. Monty! A few moments go by, the passenger watches you in silence and diverts her gaze, as if you were an animal. Does it bother you, having me as a passenger? No. Why do you ask? Because of who I am. Who are you? She smiles. You know very well who I am, Sherry. She waves a hand. I won't bother you with that anymore. You already refused my offer twice. I won't insist. It takes more courage than you think. A faraway look comes over her. Though nowadays, people's lives are far too comfortable to make any radical changes. The imagination of a Parisian begins and ends with starting over in the country, among the wildlife and the livestock. There's a hint of sadness in her voice. What a pity. We could have had such a good time together, Sherry. There's no more talk until Solil's is in sight. You stop the cab. Your passenger takes a look out the window. The muffled sounds of a lively crowd are heard. The windows of the bar are all steamed up. It seems to be a real mob. I can't see much. She eyes the windows and the dancing silhouettes. Pretty steamy in there. Looks like a crowd of 30-somethings. The sound of a hit from the 80s is heard over her voice. Music-wise, not very cutting edge. She sighs. No worries. I'll manage, like I've been doing for the past 3 centuries. She gets out of the cab with another look at you. Your eye follows her retreating figure. She steps to the door of Solil's and disappears. Alright. I am actually legitimately losing my voice. So I'm gonna see if I can... Will this take me back to menu? It should have saved. Yeah, I don't see it either on her. I don't see it. Okay, yeah, there's a continue. Okay, perfect. Alright. Well, that will conclude it. The activities for the evening. Yeah, I'm slowly losing my voice. I need to go drink some tea and honey. That was a lot of reading. That was a lot of reading. That was a lot of words. So the voice is going down. It's done. All right. Later, y'all. Little sis, I hope you enjoyed it. This game is really cool. Glad I got to play a little bit of it. I will continue to play it on stream because I think it's fun. All right. Peace out. Y'all just get a be right back screen because I'm janky like that and don't have anything ready for this stream. So just enjoy that be right back screen. Here's some music. Yeah. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah, I'm gonna bust a rap right now because I can rap right now. I'm sitting here right now. Yeah, I'll be back right now. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.